Clarice Hay from BeHealing.com. Welcome to Psychic Cafe. I'm going to just go on my own live and make sure it's there. Wait for you guys to show up. Just made the weekly read, just recorded the weekly read and uploaded it for you all. The general ones are not for the star signs, specific star signs. And then just after I finished recording it, it started raining. Stop the feedback. Hello. Who's watching? Where are you from? Haven't made daily reads yet for this week, but I'm going to do that afterwards. Hopefully it's just going to rain while I'm doing this Psychic Cafe, and then it'll be finished when I'm finished, because I want to do them by the pool. It's really nice. I like doing them outside. Like this little office that I've got here now is quite kind of nice. My corner of the room office. Hello. She was just in. The internet's stable, but it's raining, so anything could happen. When it rains, what happens is the trees get heavy with water. They touch the power lines and the Wi-Fi cable lines, and everything stops working. If it gets windy, the same thing happens as well. The infrastructure on this island. So the cat was in. The cat had her biscuits before, but she just went out about 5 minutes ago. Now it's raining, she probably wants to come back in. Did you see in last week's weekly, her tail featured in the weekly reading? She came and walked past, and her tail was just like right at the edge of the screen like that. How are you, Warren? Are you good? She's a lucky cat, I know. She's a lovely cat. So I've picked out a card for today. This is from one of Colette Baron Reid's decks. Oh, I can't remember what the deck's called. And maybe if I go out of this, it'll tell me. Right, what? Anyway, one of Colette Baron Reid's decks, one of her earlier decks. And the card of the day is the Lady of the Mirror. Okay, so this one is all about reflection, non-judgment, it says. It's about the law of attraction, but it's card number 44 too. And remember, we keep on getting 44s, have you noticed? Repeating 4s, and that's power, that's your own power. And so, again, she's probably picked this card as number 44 because that law of attraction, some people call it karma, it's pretty much the same thing. What you're putting out is what you're getting back. And that's our power. That is our power. 44. Let's have a look what Colette says. So this card, it says it's an ally and a challenger, which means if you draw it upside down, so it's in the challenge position, or upright in the ally position, then it means the same thing anyway. Of course, law of attraction, karma means the same thing anyway, doesn't it? It just depends on what you're putting out. So the Lady of the Mirror is both ally and challenger, asking you to see yourself in the mirror made by the events in your life. She represents the powerful force of the law of attraction and reminds you that what you are is what you attract. This isn't to say that you need to blame yourself for inviting transgressions, or if you find yourself victim of a big picture event, say a war. This is distorted interpretation of this law. Certain events are fated to test our faith, or to challenge us, or to whip the rug out from underneath our feet to grow us, for sure. Rather, find yourself within the web woven through your life, your relationships, opportunities, desires, seeming failures and successes. Observe how you've responded to life's challenges, great and small, and be aware of what is familiar in the present. Release all judgment and accept things exactly as they are with love. The Lady of the Mirror asks that you honor every part of your story as essential to your highest unfolding. Can you see yourself as being exactly where you need to be on your path? Do you love what you see in the mirror? Can you perceive your part in your reactions and the motives behind your current inquiry? You'll find your answer in a thorough and honest self-appraisal. So this is all about taking responsibility, isn't it, of what we're putting out there is what we're getting back in the world. And sometimes in the moment, it's really hard to see how. She's the lady of the mirror. Yeah, she looks like the lady of the lake, doesn't she? Because she's using the lake as a mirror. I've only just started looking at these cards. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm psychic. I've got these actual decks. Oh no, I don't. No, I don't have these decks. I have Doreen Virtue physical decks, but they're all in storage now. But even so, when I was using those Doreen Virtue decks, I never really looked at them. I just kind of used them like the cards that I use. I just used them to get the messages. But now I'm looking at them more with using them on the iPad here because they're bigger. Whoop. They can be bigger. Looking at the pictures more and getting some meaning from the pictures. Yeah. Also, there's there's a lotus in the water there too. And so that's got meaning. A lotus grows out of the mud. And it's the same as us. We grow out of our challenges. And so sometimes when you're experiencing challenges and you think it's the law of attraction that you've done something wrong, it's not. It's not that you've done something wrong. It's that the universe is giving you the best. It's giving you the best way to grow and move toward what you want to do. Gifted artists. Yeah, for sure. Some of these cards are really beautiful. I like her latest deck, her Wisdom of the Oracle. I can move this down a little bit. Smart, insightful people write this insightful brilliance. Yeah. Warren, have you got a copy of my first book? What's it called? The Healing Path Within. Wow, can't believe that I couldn't remember what that was. I wrote it ages ago in 2011. But yeah, that's a daily guidance. You can use it as an oracle too. You can flick through the pages, but you can also use it as like a daily devotional kind of thing. That was my first book. Should write another book. Hey? 50 Shades of Hey. Should do it. Huh? I should do it. Hey. Hey. Right. What was the daily read for today? It was about. What was it about? It was about opening up to unlimited possibilities. Hey, AP, how are you? I'm very well. I woke up super early. I keep on going to bed really early. And that's not a bad thing, but I don't know, about 8 o'clock. Like the sun goes down, I've had my dinner, and I'm tired from working out, and and I did so many videos. Those horoscope videos that I did yesterday, it took me 8.5 hours to do all of that. The recording of it was easy. They're all about 15 to 20 minutes long, so that's 14 lots of that. So it took quite a while to record them all. But it was the editing, and not so much the editing, that's quite quick, but then I use iMovie on my MacBook, and to save them from there, because it's recorded on my iPhone. They're recorded on my iPhone, so it's quite high definition. And so to actually make the movie from that, to save it takes ages for some reason from iMovie, and then uploading took ages too. So all in all, I was at it all day. I was at it all day, and I started really early. I started like 5:30 in the morning. Can't sleep, AP. Well, don't. Don't sleep then. So AP, I've already picked out the card from one of Colette Baron Reid's. Can't remember what it's called. The Lady of the Mirror. I can't remember what the deck's called. Lady of the Mirror. So this one's all about the law of attraction. And I was saying about how challenges, like everything mirrors us for sure, but there's this other element, the universe is giving us what's best for us all the time. And it gives us challenges to grow us. And it's not that you've done something wrong that you manifest these challenges. It's just that's the easiest way to get us where we need to be next, or to learn, for us to learn or grow. Yeah. And so, yeah, that's where kind of law of attraction teachings, the black and white teachings, kind of fall short. They miss that there's a bigger picture going on. There's like this method to our madness, there's higher selves behind it that know what we want. That's dedication. Yeah. I'm having so much fun, like, doing this stuff now. I'm really having lots of fun doing it. Gosh, well done you for getting through that. Yeah, sometimes we do attract it, right? Sometimes we do attract negativity because we're putting it out there. But no matter how positive we are, we still attract challenges into our life. Everyone does. Everyone does, because we can always grow from where we are. There's always something to learn, right? And so we can always do more, or we can move on, So sometimes it is just like a mirror reflection, and sometimes it's, yeah, and it's all for our highest good, even if it's feedback about our own negativity, or if it's feedback about us expecting negativity from other people, like judging other people, that is. Or if it's just like negativity from other people because we need to get out of that. We need to get out of there. We need to leave that job or whatever. It could just be that. It could be just the universe moving you on. It's like, I'm going to make this really horrible so that they get out of there because they're not listening to the guidance. So I get forced into it. I thought we were going to get a bit of thunder this morning on the weekly read, but we didn't. That's what woke me up. I woke up for the second time this morning about 6:30 with a big boom. Boom. Okay. So yeah, the daily read today was all about breaking free of limitations, like being open to what is possible. And the challenges, I can't remember. It's ages since I watched it. I've done reading since then. So going more into the energies of today. Again, like this, what we were just talking about, the law of attraction then, it's like, be grateful for the cards that have come out are gratitude and knowing. It's like, be grateful for what you know, like be grateful for what you can pick up as the law of attraction. Be grateful for understanding why something has happened, and be grateful for when you don't understand it. Rain, delightful rain. Yeah, it is nice. But I would like it to stop because I'd like to do I'd like to do the daily read videos for the week outside, and then I'd like to go to the gym. That's so true. The universe pushes you to where you need to be. Yeah, it does. And especially at the moment, it seems we're being pushed. So yeah, having this attitude of gratitude, whether you know what it's about or not, is really good advice for the day. It's like acceptance, isn't it? It's like extreme acceptance. Just knowing that it's all for our highest good. And that's not to say you're not improving yourself or whatever. If you're in like patterns that don't serve you, that's not extreme acceptance of that, and not changing or not improving yourself, not stepping up. Hey, Gemini Mika, how are you? Next cards out for today are intimacy and choose to change. So intimacy, this is about sharing ourselves. I guess that's what I'm doing now on the YouTube channel, sharing myself more, showing people who I am more. And I guess that's because I've just got to the point where I'm comfortable enough with myself to do more of this now. I'm comfortable with myself enough to commit to it too. That's big, It's like 2 whole days of making videos every week. That's big. That's a lot of work for me. And that's not paid work either, although I'm sure it's going to develop into that. Yesterday, I auditioned for a voiceover job for a corporate video. That was my first audition. That's pretty cool. It's easy work. Like recording my voice, reading something, recording my voice. Easy peasy. And how about that? Getting paid for who I am just for my voice. There's a little bit of skill involved in the recording and equipment and stuff, but not that. Need to work on that. So intimacy, choose to change. Yeah, choose the changes that you want. Like what level? We get stuck in ruts, don't we? Of intimacy ruts. So how much we're willing to share of ourselves and who to. Like in our work, maybe we have these masks on us. In our work, in our relationships, in our friendships, we get stuck in these ruts of how much we're willing to share. But then what we fail to see is that we're growing as a person. We're becoming more confident. We're healing ourselves. We're becoming more loving, self-loving. We are accepting ourselves more. And so as that happens, as we're growing within ourselves, then we can share more of ourselves. And so today, I guess it's asking us to make the changes to up our level of intimacy to the level that you're comfortable with right now. So you might want to try it out. Be more intimate with someone, random stranger, see what their reaction is. Oversharing. Oh my God, oversharers. You just meet someone and then they tell you like all of the problems. That's a little bit too much, isn't it? That's not discernment. That's not discernment at all. It's not being in your power. Huh? Everyone says that, AP, that I've got a calming voice. Yeah. Thank you. Let's get a couple more cards for today. I was talking about pay scales yesterday for the audition. Okay. 2 more cards. We've got believe in yourself and brilliant. Yay. Believe in our brilliance. Again, this opens you up to more intimacy when you're actually seeing what you're brilliant at, not downplaying that. I know that's a big, it's an English thing for places that I've lived. It's an English thing and it's an Australian thing too. It's like that tall poppy syndrome where you kind of downplay. It's seen as a good thing to dim your light kind of thing, to not be aware of what you're good at, to put yourself down. And in Australia, it's like a compliment if someone says that you're being, I can't remember what the word is, that you're being like detrimental to yourself. They say it like a compliment, like it's a good thing. It's not. We can't be, and it's seen like an intimate thing as well, isn't it? If you're putting yourself down in front of someone, then you're being more intimate with them. You're being more real. And I guess in some ways you are, if you're putting yourself down inside. If that's what you're doing within yourself, then if you're putting yourself down in front of someone else, then you are being more intimate with them. But it's all very destructive. It's a downward spiral pattern, that is. Instead, you're brilliant. And if someone's doing it like in a bragging way, so if it's false confidence, if they're not confident inside, they've got that real insecurity, but then they're being loud about it, like a bully. Like a bully is really insecure, and so they bully to pretend that insecurity isn't there, right? And some people do that with confidence too, and so they'll brag and pretend they're better than they are, because really they're insecure. And so I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about acknowledging your brilliance. Yeah. Believing in yourself and acknowledging your brilliance. And that makes you feel better. And then if you share that with other people, it gives them permission to do the same. Because as I said, like the cultures, I don't know what Americans are like. But certainly that's a British and an Australian thing. Probably Australian a little bit more so. The British tend to do it from my experience, in a nastier kind of way, pulling people down. Australians do it in a joking way. But yeah, that's like huge generalization, I realize. But I've lived in different places, so I can generalize because there are different traits. Now in Thailand, totally different. One thing that I've noticed here is because it's the Buddhist because it's a Buddhist country, they take more responsibility for themselves. So they're not putting things on other people generally. And they will compliment each other, and they will accept those compliments very well. And what I've found is, so someone will call you, a Thai person will call a Thai person successful and rich, and they accept that as a compliment, and they really take that to heart and say, thank you for saying that. Thank you for acknowledging that in me. And yeah, I like that. I like that they can take compliments and that they actually feel good about themselves. They don't really go around bragging. Do they? Some do, I guess. There are the anomalies everywhere. But okay, I'm going to pick out my cards. I put my cards on this. It's actually it's from my mascara that I used to get. It's a discount card, but I really like it. The 3 goddesses. So I'll keep it on my little table here. Put my cards on it each day. Gold. I like golden things. Kind of cool that there's golden curtains in here. Okay, first of all, I pick my cards out differently than everyone else's. I picked 2 out, but put them crossways like that, and then 2, so that they... Okay. This is like the weekly read, but it's next week. The first 2 cards are encouragement, wake up. So the weekly read this week, for this next week, is about waking up to your passion. So this is encouraging me to wake up more. I feel like I've woken up more in the last few weeks, and I feel like I've woken up to more of myself, that I'm open up to way more things now. I got out of that pattern that I was in, especially because I was just like so focused on the Muay Thai in the stadium. My focus and my energy was all there all the time. Like I'd wake up in the morning and I'd be thinking about that and answering messages, because people would be messaging the Facebook page all overnight, people that were, in Europe or whatever, and were coming to stay, and there were all these questions and people booking in and stuff. I was just so involved in it all the time. I had my focus, and it was detrimental to me and my business and my own business too, took that focus off myself. And so getting back to myself after that, which I guess is about 2 months ago now, started meditating a lot, detaching from it. And after a few weeks of that, then I started opening up to way more. So this is encouraging me to wake up even more. That's cool. Today, or just encouraging me to wake up because I'm feeling a bit sleepy. And detach from jealousy. Is this my jealousy? Oh, my last partner wasn't faithful. And this is a tricky one, right? Because I felt jealous. I did feel jealous, but then he wasn't faithful either. Not just unfaithful to me. I found out after a few months that he's married to someone else. So I was the one he was cheating with, and he was cheating on me. And crazy. This is Thai culture. It's bizarre. They get married to people in other places. They get married to people that aren't even there. They don't live with them. They don't spend time with them. Bizarre. It's bizarre. I don't get any part of it. And he couldn't explain it to me either, so just whatever. But yeah, so detachment from jealousy. So for the last 3 years, I've been in this culture where this is all going on. Apparently, they're the number 1 cheaters in the whole world. Doesn't surprise me. They just seem to be very free with all of that stuff, and which could be, free love. It could seem like a good thing, but it's not. High, and they lie about it. And if they were really cool about it, if it was free love and they were really cool about it, then they wouldn't be lying about it. And there's lots of fights and stuff. There is lots of trouble from it. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing for me. I don't think it's a good thing for them either. But there we go. That's what they do. And so I've got to stop expecting that. Yeah, it sucks. It is sad. Yeah, it sucks. It's horrible. Like, it's really horrible. And you know, they're really insecure because of it, because they're all lying to each other. And like, it's like, from the guys that I've seen and know what's going on with them, their friends, they're all joking with each other about it. They're all lying. They're helping each other lie to the women about it. But of course, they're lying to each other about it too, because they're with each other's women, right? And they might be joking about it and everything and thinking it's all great, but it makes them very insecure. So it's like they're lying for each other, but they're really insecure because they don't know what each other's doing. They don't know the truth from each other. And so, yeah, it makes them very insecure. And that is a problem, you know. Very insecure. It's hard. It's hard being in a relationship with someone that's really insecure, because he was trying to tell me that I was with other people, which is a sure sign that they're cheating. Huh? It's always projection. So there are my cards. Who would like a reading? Who would like a reading? So yeah, I'm unraveling myself from that. I realized, was it yesterday or the day before? In the last couple of days, I realized that that's not me. You know, I have been in this culture and it's been affecting me. I guess it's made me really clear on that, but that's not me. I did cheat once. I cheated. I was married in my 20s, so I met my ex-husband when I was 21. We got married when I was 20, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, 24. And we got divorced when I was 30. Now, for the last 2 years of that relationship, or 2 years, not for the last 2 years, but 2 years before I ended it, I had an affair. That's the only time I've ever cheated. And I wouldn't do it again because I had that experience. And I cheated because I should have finished that relationship. I didn't finish that relationship because we had children together. And when you're married, you're a little bit more stuck, you know. But yeah, looking back, I should have finished it those 2 years before I did, but then we wouldn't have had my youngest son, so I'm glad I didn't. But what I realized from that experience is that I wasn't getting what I needed, what I wanted and what I needed from that marriage. And then I took on someone else. And between the two of them, like, I took on someone else who wasn't right for me either, but between the two of them, he was like giving me what the other one wasn't giving me. And when I realized this, of course, I didn't tell my ex-husband because he didn't know. Well, apparently he didn't know about it. Maybe he did. But I told my lover about it, that I'd realized that he was the one keeping me in my marriage, because he was providing what my husband wasn't providing. Of course, what happened then? He dumped me. So it was pretty funny. Health. That marriage stuff is pretty debilitating, I think. But for some, it seems to work. Yeah, I do like the commitment thing. I think there's something to that. I think marriage as it stands, I don't know. Committing to someone forever, it's like, how can you know? That's like saying, I'm not going to grow, but I'm sure that we're going to grow in the same direction. You just don't know that, hey? Or I'm not going to grow anymore. I'm not going to change from here. I'm just going to stay the same. You can't say that. And so there's something to the commitment. I like there's like a hand tying ceremony. It's not the ceremony so much. I don't know what goes on in that ceremony, but the gist of it is that you are married for a year and a day, and then a year and a day later, you do it all over again. And so you're just committing to a year together. I really like that. It keeps it conscious, keeps the relationship conscious. And then people can't change. What I found in my marriage is that he changed. So we'd spent a couple of years together being boyfriend and girlfriend. I had a son, so we're kind of bringing up the son together. But when we got married, and I expected to just carry on as it was, right? Two people getting on great. I expected it to carry on as it was. We got married and he changed. It's like, all right, now we don't go out, now we don't do this, now we don't do that. It's like, huh? Is this what I signed up for? That's how I remember it anyway. Maybe that wasn't true. Maybe that's just my negativity when it broke off. Seems pretty limiting and wrong. I'd love to be married one day in a healthy relationship. Yeah, me too. I would. It'd have to be someone spectacular though. I never understood marriage or who people need relationships. I do like relationships though. I like being in a relationship. For me, it's about, because I've not had like a loving family experience. I've had hostile family experiences. and so I feel like I've always been by myself. And even when I've been in relationships, I've been very much the giver in those relationships. So the one kind of in charge in a way. And I've not had that full reciprocal thing yet, and I've not had a loving family experience, and that's what I really want, is to have a loving family experience with someone who can. So I can't imagine having a really great relationship. I can. Health. Okay, let's pick some cards for you, Warren. About your health. Right, okay, so heart stuff, of course, the emotional and the consciousness behind heart stuff. Heart stuff is about self-love. It's down to self-love and limitations of your love. So placing limitations on yourself, on your self-love. So having limits to how much you can appreciate yourself, having limits on how much you love yourself, having limits on how much you'll give to yourself, having limits on how much you look after yourself. There's that comfort level. I think I talked about this last week. Your comfort level of like, how joyful can you be? How good will you let things be? We've all got like these comfort levels, these upper limits. And so your high self is saying that your heart stuff, it's about your upper limits on self-love. I think that my upper limit at self-love is pretty high. I don't see other people around me looking after themselves as much as I look after myself. Physically, especially. Spiritually, mentally. I do take great care of myself. Emotionally, yes. There's always room for improvement, I guess, but I set the bar pretty high for my self-care. Excuse me. Try not to spit coffee over you. Oh. So yeah, just think about that one. AP, yes, you can. Oh, and your next relationship. Yes. Warren. Also, it's about physical action too. So there's a physical component of it. So we manifest this health stuff as a reflection of our consciousness, our emotional state. There's always some reason behind it. But then there's the physical component too. So what happens is, say if we're not self-loving, then we start eating the wrong things, eating things that are bad for us. we're naturally, it's the law of attraction again. We attract the stuff that's treating us the same way. So we attract the food that's treating us the same way. We don't exercise, we don't take care of ourselves so much. And so your next cards, or your first cards was this. Was appreciate yourself and limitless. So this is about self-love and about limitations on that. Next is this moment physical action. So that is the physical component of it. And so as you raise your self-love up, then you start attracting better. And so for me, what that is, like I raised my self-love up with my exercise, doing all of this training and everything, and loving my body more. And then I started attracting the information about diet, better information about diet, that is. And so I was in search of how I can eat and what I can eat in order to have more energy when I work out, when I train, and more endurance, because I was really noticing the differences. Because I'm training every day, notice the differences of what I'm eating and how it's affecting me when I eat and how it affects my training. And then some days it's just like I don't get it. Some days I get it, depending on what I've eaten. It's like if my energy flags after the first couple of rounds of training, and my trainer will go, "What's wrong with you? You got no power." Sometimes it's because I have not eaten that much in the morning before the training. I'm training in the afternoon, but I've not eaten just enough. I've not had enough before, and my endurance goes down because of that. But sometimes it's just like random. It seems random, but it's not actually random, because it's my hormones. Women are like this. It's my hormones, and so now I can actually predict when my period's going to start, because the day before I'll lose my power, I lose my endurance for random reasons. So so what I'm saying with this is that when you're loving yourself more, you start attracting different information. You start attracting the foods, the exercise, the stuff that matches that. So it's kind of not the other way around, or it can be the other way around. You can just start taking that physical action, and because that's self-loving in itself, but you just start attracting what is going to clear up, because you've got no reason to manifest it anymore if you've got rid of the cause. AP, your next relationship. Well, that's a good one. Maybe I should do that for myself too. AP. Here's your cards, AP. Feel it overwhelming. That's a battered card. Feel it overwhelming. Now, your higher self isn't asking you to feel overwhelmed and then manifest that. No. It's asking you to feel what's actually there. And so when you're thinking about another relationship and you feel that overwhelm, actually feel it. So what's the overwhelm about? What is it that you want a relationship for? Have you got some, the other day we were talking about the deeper reasons behind it. I was in a video somewhere. What are your deeper reasons behind wanting a relationship? We all have positive reasons for wanting a relationship. But we also have negative reasons too. When I say negative reasons, I mean like fear-based reasons. And so we have to be really honest with ourselves to pick up on what those fear-based reasons are. Maybe there's something that we don't want to face in our lives and we want someone to come and save us from it. So like if you say you weren't handling your finances at all, if you just like can't be bothered sorting that part of your life out, then you might want a partner who's just great at that and will come in and do that for you so that you don't ever have to do that. Or same if you've got really poor health and you can't be bothered sorting your health out, and it's overwhelming to you to do that, then you might want to marry a doctor for them to sort it out. Not that doctors would, hey? Okay, marry a personal trainer. That are probably more helpful than a doctor or a dietitian or anything, because they tend to have the wrong information, those people. I want to grow with someone and share my life with someone. Yeah. But what are the negative reasons? What is it that you're not handling? What is it in your life at the moment that feels overwhelming and that you think a partner would solve? You don't have to tell us. You just need to tell yourself. And so your higher self is asking you to actually feel the overwhelm that's really there and get to the bottom of that. And because you need to start doing that for yourself, you need to get on top of whatever it is making you feel overwhelmed that you want a partner for. So do you mean I might feel overwhelmed in my next relationship? Maybe loneliness. Okay. Yes, it could be that. It could be you want a partner because you don't want to be lonely anymore, right? So is it that you're not comfortable with your own company? Or is it that you're not connecting in with like-minded people or like-energied people? Are you isolating yourself? Are you not putting yourself out there to be around other people? The reason I'm saying this is especially about other people, is like you don't want to get into a relationship and then put everything on them. It's like, get into a relationship and it's like, well, I've got no friends, I've got nothing else going on. I'm not getting any of my needs met, like intellectual needs, or you haven't got people to do your hobbies with, or you haven't got someone to talk to about emotional stuff. Like there's so many different needs that we have, and we don't need to get it from one person. But when we're not getting our needs met with our friendships, by other relationships, and then we're like waiting to get into a relationship and then we dump it all on them, that relationship isn't going to survive, because it's way too much pressure. Imagine like someone getting into a relationship and them saying, right now you be everything to me. Satisfy my every need, make me happy in every way. You need to be everything to me. That's a lot of pressure. That's not what relationships are about. I love my own company. There you go. So it's not that. But I've been alone pretty much my whole life. Right. Yeah. So this is it. So I open up to people before a relationship. Just find out, AP, what your needs are. What are your needs? Like my needs, I need to have like intellectual stimulation, right? I love talking with people that inspire me intellectually. And so I listen to things, I listen to podcasts, I learn things. There's a few people that I keep in touch with. Is there anyone intellectually stimulating on this island? Yeah, there is. There's one guy I used to walk on the beach with him sometimes. But generally it's just online friends that I have that with now. Then I've got my emotional needs, right? And these are different people. So my emotional needs, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got like six close friends that satisfy my emotional needs. So if I need to talk to people, and some of them I go to for some things, some of them I go for other things. But yeah. And 3 of them are here on the island. 3 are online friends. 1 that I have met before in person. What other needs do I have? But previously, like a relationship that I had 10 years ago, it started, we were together for 6 years. So maybe it started about 12 years ago. Thereabouts. We were like, did everything together. We were everything to each other like that. It was quite dysfunctional. It was good. Like it was a really good relationship. But yeah, we were everything to each other. I didn't really hang out with other people. Like we did. We weren't antisocial, but we were very much together, So yeah, open up. Yeah, too much pressure just on one person. So now, yeah, so you've got that. It's that feeling of aloneness. It's that your needs aren't being met by other people. So find that in friendships first. Here we go. And here's your next cards too. Willingness, forgive them. So this is about when you have put that pressure on people in the past, and they didn't rise up to be your everything. Forgive them for that. Like, it was dysfunctional anyway, asking them to do that. So now you know what you need to do, so that you can, when your next relationship can be a good one, because you're just there to love and support each other, not there to make each other happy, not there to provide everything for each other. Takes the pressure off, so it can actually be a true relationship. And life is going to be way better when you're not seeking it from other. Maybe you're trying to get into friendships and then expecting them to be everything too. Well, what about if you just make it really easy? It's like you meet somebody new, right? A friendship. You meet someone new, and it's like they can be there for you emotionally. They're good at talking about the emotional stuff, but they're not good at everything else that you like. Why not just let them love you in that way, instead of wanting them to be everything? Just let them be the emotional support for you, and go to them for that. And don't try and talk to them about your spirituality. Don't try and talk to them about your intellectual stuff. Don't try and get them involved in your work stuff. Compartmentalize things and let people love you in the way that they can love you. Let that be enough. There you go. Is Gemini Mika, are you still on? Do you want a reading? Yeah, I'm glad that's helpful. That's something I figured out in the last few years, is that I was doing that. I was doing that kind of thing too. And it was when I first came to this island, and a friend tried to do it to me. I made this new friend, and it seemed all good at first, but then she put everything on me. It was like, oh my God. And I told people, I had to break up with her. I had to fully break up with her because it was way too much. And I told people, she's like a bad boyfriend. She's like a really bad boyfriend. And it wasn't healthy for her to do that. But yeah, she really tried to put everything on me. And then got upset when I wouldn't play along. But I'm like, yeah, I'm busy with my life. Can't be your 24/7 support person for everything. But then seeing that, of course, it made me think about the lady in the mirror. It made me think about how I've done that in the past, or how I was doing that in the present. And just as I said in the weekly read that I've just recorded this morning, when we need something, it's really hard to do it, right? So if you're a perfectionist, this is how it came out in the weekly read. If you're a perfectionist, if you don't think that you're good enough and you think you need to be perfect before you let abundance in or whatever, then it's really hard to do those things. It's really hard to improve yourself in the ways that you think, because you think you need to. You think you need to perfect yourself. So it's like when I had to get up for my corporate job in the morning, it was really hard to do that because I had to do it. So hard to get out of bed and go to that obvious yuck. But now I don't need to get up early in the morning, but I do. So it's easy to. I don't need to work out, but I want to work out, yeah. And so it's easy to do things when you don't need to. And what was I talking about? Friendships and stuff, putting stuff on people. I don't know. Lost my train of thought. You're welcome. Is anyone else on there? Someone lurking, and not speaking. Is Mika still there? Do you want a reading, Mika? Or shall we stop right there? It's been 50 minutes. It goes so fast. Time flies, and I think it stopped raining. So I can do the daily videos outside. Started building the place just next door there. Can you hear that? Can you hear the banging? I try and do my videos outside before they start work. I do them early in the morning. And before the sun gets on the pool as well. But there we go. I don't think it's sunny, is it? No. It's cloudy today. You see my boxing stuff there? My wraps. Thank you everyone for coming along. As usual, if you want a private reading with me, then the details are below of how to book in for one of those. See you tomorrow, guys, if you want to come on. Weekends are quiet on this, aren't they? It was much busier in the week. But it's fun anyway. I'm going to have my coffee anyway in the mornings. Might as well sit chatting with you guys while I do it. This week I'm going to be recording my the full moon. We've got a full moon coming up next Sunday, Monday, depending on where you live. I'm going to be doing them for each star sign again. So I'm going to have another frenzied day of 8.5, 9 hours of video making and uploading. What I'd like to know is, you know, these lives that after they're processed after I finish them, and then they end up being videos on my YouTube channel. It takes about 5 or 10 minutes, I think, for it to do that. What I want to know is, are the live videos, are they promoted on YouTube as much as like uploaded videos? Because I know in the back office kind of thing of YouTube, they're in a different place. The live videos are in a different place than the normal videos. But I just wonder if they show, like, I wonder if they're shown when they're videos, like after the lives, when the videos, I wonder if they're shown to people in the same way. Because if I could do, because I do all of them in one take. It's very rare that I'll do 2 takes for a video. If I could do them all live, then it would be so much faster. And let YouTube do all the processing of it. So if anyone knows, I'm seeking that answer. Yeah, have a great day, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.